Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to your youth channel, No Shame in the Gospel. Today, you're gonna meet someone wild and humble at heart. See you in a minute. Hey, so here's something about me. I love animals. I like them. I love dolphins, I love horses, I love elephants. And I grew up with cats and dogs, of course, because in Cuba there was not many chances to have any other animal as a pet. There's only one animal, I think, in creation that I don't like. And I don't know if I should tell you or not, because that's kind of a secret. I was pretty good at keeping it secret during my school years, so I didn't run into any crazy situation. But because I am a grown-up now, and this is the little segment about me I'm gonna tell you. And if you know me, if you're one of my friends, you know I hate frogs. I don't like frogs. Now today I am about to introduce you a beautiful girl that loves animals, but she loves animals to a different level. Oh, come on, let's meet her. Wait, don't follow me. Follow Jesus. He's carrying me in his arms. But come on. I am here in this beautiful paradise. The sun is setting, and this is the home of another amazing kiddo. You're gonna love this girl. You see how beautiful this is around? Wait till you see her face. So please help me introduce my beautiful Jennifer. There she is. Look at that beautiful face. Doesn't it match with the entire environment? The reason why we're meeting here is because I want to portray a special talent that she has. It's a gift from God. She has a heart of gold that I have seen. I have known her for quite some time, but I have never seen her in action until very recently. And I got really impressed with the way this girl is living. So I don't want to talk much. She's gonna talk about herself. And we have to do it quick because the sun is setting and we don't have much light. I'm not using anything but the nature right here. So Jenny, I know you're a Christian. I know you love God. I want you to tell me, when did you get to know what God is or who God is?
Well, I grew up in church since a baby, but I got baptized at 12. So I think around that time I understood, what it means to follow God, and I decided to be baptized. So it was like around 12, 13, around around that age.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have an older sister.
You have an older sister? Has that been a good experience or has it been a burden?
No, it's been good. I mean, she doesn't live with me now, so we're not as close as before. But yeah, we're pretty close.
That's nice. That is very nice. Now, tell me a little bit about your experience growing up in church. You were born and raised here?
I was born in Cuba and raised in Miami.
Okay. So what was your experience as a youth, as a teenager growing at church? Do you have any pressure in school? Did they label you or saw you different because you were a Christian and you have different habits? Tell me a little bit about that. How was that?
So since we go to church on Saturdays, I couldn't really partake in any activities at school. But I mean, I'm fine with that. I was in the drum line at church for 5 years.
That's cool.
So yeah, instead of being in the drum line at school, I was in the drum line at church. So
that's pretty cool.
So that's fine. But that was the only like hard thing. I couldn't relate to the kids at school because I was like on Saturdays I couldn't go to their activities. I had to go to church.
You had to go to church.
But I was fine with that, honestly. I made a lot of friends at church, lifelong friends, and
that's good.
Yeah, it's been good so far.
That's pretty good. You look very like your mommy, and your mom is beautiful too. It's a very close friend of mine, and I love her too. Her generation has a completely different view from what Christianity is, and being a servant of God, to what your generation has in perspective. How have you matched with your mommy, the way she thinks and the way you see the Bible? And you know what I'm trying to ask you?
Yeah, it's been tough because it's different generations.
Yes,
I'm more open-minded. That's the word. But I feel what got us closer was her divorce with my father. Like I saw her go through some really bad stuff, and I was there for her. So I feel like that made us closer, no matter if we think differently. So
that is nice.
Yeah, I feel like because of that experience, we're automatically closer, even if we don't see eye to eye. And yeah, nice. So far it's been good. I haven't really had any complaints.
Well, I think she doesn't have any complaints either. And one of the things, Jen, that I love about you, I've seen you at church so many times, and I always look at you and I say, she looks so beautiful. She looks like she's coming from a magazine.
Oh, thank you.
Your skin, your eyes, you're like barely makeup, and she's just naturally beautiful. What caught my attention about you is that side of compassion and service that I've seen you have. I've seen you supporting your mother. I have seen you helping a stranger, like the day that you offered to ride my son back to my house.
Yeah. And I think it was the first time I met him.
I think it was the first time.
I don't think I ever saw him before. I don't think so.
But it caught my attention because you offered, and it was so natural. I asked Ruben, how do you make it here? I said like, oh, Jennifer drove me, and I say, Jennifer, do you know her? Are you guys friends? He said like, no. She just offered, and she drove me, and that really got my attention because people are not usually like that. I love how you just pour all this wonder from you. I have seen you with animals. I've seen you treating animals the way we Christians should treat animals. I think it's really interesting how so many people from all kind of generations, so-called Christians, are so abusive and so cruel with animals. It's like they have ripped out that part from the Bible. And I wonder what kind of testimony they're showing to the world if they're going to church on Sabbath and paying their tithe and being vegetarians and judging the color of your eyes and what do you wear on you. But on the other hand, they're kicking dogs and abusing animals. So tell me, where do you get that passion and that love, that kindness?
I feel like I get it from my grandfather a lot. He loves animals. I feel like the only passion I have in this world is animals and helping people. That's like my only two passions that I feel like, when you're trying to find yourself, I feel like those are my only two passions.
And I call that passion a calling. And like I was talking to you before we started the video, wrongly, a lot of people think that in order to preach or spread the gospel, you have to be dressed on a strict suit and open the Bible on Sabbath only,
Yeah.
standing in a church. And
Mhm.
truth is, the life you live
Yeah, it's every day.
is what reach out to people.
Like what you do, how you
Exactly.
treat people when people aren't watching.
Exactly.
So-
The way you and your shadow live
Yeah.
around God. And you just mentioned it in a beautiful way.
Uh-huh.
Because the only thing that God asks us to do in this world is serve. Serve others and serve
Yeah.
and protect his creation, which are the
Yeah.
animals.
Like find your
So-
purpose.
Correct.
Mhm.
I strongly believe everybody is here for a reason, a very specific reason.
Mhm.
And I always say that doesn't have to do with your career. It doesn't have to do with your job. It's got to do with a calling.
Mhm.
And that calling is what defines you as a person. You just said it in a very beautiful way.
Like what's inside,
That what you feel is your passion is exactly what God expects you to use to spread the gospel and his love.
Yeah.
Tell me, what are your dreams? Are you planning on studying something? Are you studying something? Are you planning on opening your own business? What are you dreaming?
So my dream, this is like 10 years from now because you have to have money for this.
That's fine.
Is
It's
to-
a dream.
Yeah, to open a rescue center.
Wow.
Mostly for pit bulls because pit bulls are very abused because they
Okay.
use them for dog fighting because they're strong.
Correct.
But they're honestly, most of them are just babies. Like, most of them are not even aggressive unless you teach them to be aggressive.
Correct.
So they're very abused, and you find them on the streets. So I want to open a
And they've
rescue
been labeled,
center.
right? Like people
Yeah.
think, oh, it's a people, and it's like a.
I mean, pit bulls, they have the muscles and the jaw that they could hurt somebody, but if you raise them to be aggressive and to fight other dogs, that's exactly what they're gonna do.
That's exactly
If-
right.
I owned a pit bull mix. I didn't raise him to do that, and he was the biggest baby ever.
There you go.
He wouldn't even protect me from a robber. He was just
He was just too sweet to do
he
that.
was too sweet. So it just depends how you raise your animals, and a lot of people are not raising them like that. So I want to open, I want to have a lot of acres like my mom out here, and have a rescue.
That would be beautiful.
Mostly pit bulls, obviously other animals, and maybe some cats. Because there's a
That's
lot of,
nice.
cats out here
That's
that they're
nice.
multiplying and dying out in the road. So,
Have you thought about getting into veterinarian or anything like
yeah,
that?
I did. So, ever since I was little, I knew that's what I was going to be. I knew it.
You knew it.
Yeah, but I realized around when I was 18, I realized I was allergic to dogs
Oh, wow.
and to cats. Because all my life I had a Yorkie.
Okay.
But they're hypoallergenic, so you can't
Yes.
really be allergic with them. So then she died, and then I started pet sitting huskies, German shepherds, and I started scratching a lot and
I can't do
sneezing.
this.
I'm like, oh my god, what's happening? So I found out I was allergic, so I stopped pet sitting, and at that time I was studying towards veterinarian.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I have to change my
I have to
major.
change my gear because I'm not gonna be able to be
Yeah.
scratched.
I'm still gonna have animals, but I don't want to have that as a career,
Got it.
Because
I understand.
let's say you take your animal to veterinarian and
then
you're
you start-
scratching and sneezing. Would you want,
You
it
won't be
doesn't-
able to do it.
Yeah. So
It makes sense.
yeah, so that's why I stopped that dream. But I don't know, because it's my only passion, like I said. So maybe I could do something relating to animals, but that doesn't.
I think there's a lot you can do with that.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful dream because it's close to your creator.
Mhm.
This is a very random question that is just crossing my mind. Have you ever dreamed which animal would you like to have as a pet in heaven?
I haven't really thought of that because I would just imagine all the animals would be in heaven. But I mean, my favorite wild animal would have to be a white tiger
A white tiger.
because they're just so beautiful.
They are beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I love all animals.
And I think it
but
would match beautiful with your red hair.
Yeah. all animals are beautiful, but I don't know, the white tiger has always caught my attention.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I have quite a few favorite animals. I like dolphins because I think they're super smart.
Yes.
I love elephants because they have that amazing memory. Elephants,
And
I'm
really
between
close
elephants.
to their son or daughter.
Yes, yes, the motherhood is like a big deal for them. So I love the elephants for that, and I love the horses because they're so wild, so free. So
they're beautiful.
So, okay, my dear, the sun is really setting, and I want to get our viewers into the showtime because you guys are going to see this in action. One thing is dreaming with animals and saying I would love to have a shelter and all of that, and another different thing is seeing what she can do. She really has a talent and a calling for this. You guys are going to see what this girl and her hands and her healing heart has been able to do for this dog. It's really amazing. And I can tell you something. You were talking about how peoples are raised to be fighters and all of that, and it makes me think how sometimes our children and our youngsters are also raised like that. It all depends on what we put in their heart. A child can turn into a fighter. It could turn into a serial killer.
That's true.
Or it could turn into a beautiful person that lives a life, a meaningful life, helping others, serving God, serving nature, just like you're doing. Let's pause right here. We're gonna change location. So Jen, tell us the incredible story of Toby.
So this happened on Monday, I think 2 weeks ago, right? Him and my grandfather were outside, and then my grandfather lifts a pallet or something, and we live in a farm, so a bunch of rats came out, and I guess he hasn't seen so many rats at the same time, so I guess he got like super excited, and I think he had like a spinal stroke, and he became paralyzed. And then I took him to the hospital because we thought it was his legs that he couldn't walk, but the x-ray came out fine. He didn't have any broken legs. And then so 2 days after, I took him to the vet saying he can't walk, he's paralyzed. So basically he sent me to a neurosurgeon, a specialist, and then they did an MRI, they did a spinal fluid extraction and everything, and honestly, he has gotten a lot better. He couldn't walk at all. He was like laying on his side the whole, for about 5 days.
Totally paralyzed.
Yeah, for like about 5 days. Totally
couldn't
paralyzed.
even pee, right?
Yeah, no. I had to do bladder expressions that like you hold his bladder and then you have to squeeze for 10 seconds. And then the pee
Where do you learn all of that, girl?
YouTube. Yeah. So for 5 days, completely paralyzed. After that, he started moving his right side, so his right hind leg and his right, other leg. And then 5 days after that, he started moving his left hind leg a little bit. And then now he can move all of them. He can't walk perfect, but he walks, kind of like a drunk man.
Some people in a situation like that would probably have said, put him to sleep. And I remember hearing some sort of a conversation around it. And I remember hearing you saying to your mom, if I would become paralyzed, would you put me to sleep, or would you do anything you can do to make me walk?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. I mean,
because even if he can never walk again, he can still feel emotions. He can still love me, and I can still love him. If anything, I have this little wheelchair for him. So it's okay. But he's able to walk now, so I don't have to worry about this. I could go ahead and return this. The physical therapy was like 30 minutes in total, and for the left side that didn't move, I would have to massage the leg for 5 minutes each, and I actually put some frankincense oil.
Your mommy is the guru of the healing oils. No wonder you get the healing from your mommy,
right? So this is doTERRA. It's really good essential oil.
Yes, they are.
It's really pure.
Yes, they are.
Is frankincense. So this, I would put 1 drop. He doesn't like the smell of it, so he freaks out. But I put 1 drop inside here, and then I begin to massage for 5 whole minutes. I massage here up to the shoulder, 5 whole minutes, and then I do the other leg. I massage it for 5 whole minutes. I do this, and when I'm done with that, you have to lay him down and you have to do like a bicycle motion.
Yes.
Let me see if I can get him to lay him down.
He's feeling better now.
It's okay, baby. It's okay. So I would do a bicycle motion like this. Like, you know, when you're riding bicycle.
You're such a therapist. Look at you. You don't need a degree, girl.
So you have to do that 20 times. And then
20
after
times.
20 repetitions, you fold the whole leg like this for 10 seconds. I usually do 20 seconds. And then you do this for 20 more seconds. And then you do the same for this leg. You do bicycle, like that, bicycle. And then you fold for 20 seconds. And then you extend for 20 seconds. And then the last one was, I would stand him up. And this part was really hard because he didn't have any, basically all his muscle on his left side, he didn't use it.
He couldn't stand at all.
Yeah, so it was really hard in the beginning, but I had to stand him and kind of like rock him.
Aww.
Front and back, and then side to side. And then
For balance.
yeah, and then in the beginning he would always fall, so I would have to like get him back up and, you know, do it again. And that would be for 5 whole minutes, this whole balance thing. And then, so it's all that 2 times a day, minimum.
Beautiful.
So,
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
yeah.
Can you put him in the floor so people can
Yes.
see and believe?
Good boy.
That's awesome.
See? Good boy. Yeah, good boy. I have to massage the leg for 1 whole minute, like that. And then I have to do a bicycle movement, like that. And then I have to extend for 10 seconds, and then fold for 10 seconds. And then the same for this bicycle. And then fold, extend, and then I stand him, and he has to stand for at least 1 minute. So you can get strong here.
Yeah.
Usually like 30 minutes, twice a day.
You're special, Jen.
Thank you.
You're special.
But this girl is really exotic. Look what she's holding in her hands now. It's a snake. It's a little python, right?
It's a ball python.
Okay.
Yeah, because they always get into little balls like that. So they're known as ball pythons.
Wait. Easy. Easy.
Easy.
Is it a boy?
Yeah, it's a boy.
How do you know that it's a boy?
Well, the vet tells me.
Okay.
They do something with the hole right here, and they put some pressure, and then they find out if it's boy or girl. But it's a boy. And his name is Jack.
Touching this for the first time. This for the camera. It feels like you're holding a bag.
Yeah.
Like an actual handbag.
Yeah.
So, you know, this thing for the animals really goes beyond review, I can see. And when I saw you first time holding that, I was like, oh, you have to show that in camera.
Yeah, I remember.
This is what I get from you. And I hope this is the message that everybody gets from you. The same way you didn't give up on Toby when he got paralyzed. The same way you love Jack, which is a repulsive animal for most people.
Yeah.
That's the way God loves us all.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how disabled we are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how repulsive we are to others. It doesn't matter how many people will give up on us. He won't give up on us.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, I want you to know that you are a testimony by just doing what you're doing. That's your way of preaching.
Mm-hmm.
That's your way of living with no shame in the gospel.
Yeah.
So from now on, if you haven't thought about that,
Mm-hmm.
think about it.
Yeah.
Just because God has put that in your heart
Mhm.
and has made you special and
Yeah.
has given you that talent, that servant heart that goes beyond paralyzed dogs and snakes.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
think it's a gift. And speaking of a gift, I have a little gift for you.
Oh.
Here's my little bag. Usually, I will give a picture and put it on it. And I will give you the picture, but I have to really choose which picture to put in there. But I did wrote the name of the channel and the date. So you're gonna put that picture in there and remember this conversation and remember that you have been called, and that gift of yours, just with animals, could be such a sermon out there for so many people. And this little thing is my famous little bird cage.
That is so cute.
Which simply show you that you have been
That's really cute. Thank
anointed to free
Aww.
people's mind and those casted thoughts and people that are trapping, I don't know, their sins, their mistakes, their traumas, their pain, their sorrows. You've done that before with people close to you. And you can keep doing it.
Yeah.
So that's what the birdcage means. Because the gospel is freedom and good news to people, and this is a way of preaching and doing that.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much.
Thank you. This is super cute.
I'm glad you like it. Anything to you? I did.
Jake.
I did.
He likes you.
I don't know if I told you, but I don't know if
You can hold him. Just grab him here, and that's it. Right here. There you go. Yeah.
I'm holding it. Can someone take me a picture? Because this is...
Tómale foto.
It's so cute. No, but this is beyond the leaves. This is something that I'm experiencing myself. I'm having a moment.
Yeah. Mommy, take a picture. Wow.
It's nice to hold it. It just feels...
Yeah, ball pythons.
Satisfying.
Yeah, pythons are the least aggressive pythons in the python family. So they're good for beginners.
For beginners?
Yeah, they will probably never bite. But she's taking a picture.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. You are beautiful.
Aw, thank you.
You're gifted.
Thank
And
you.
talented.
Well, I hope you enjoy meeting our animal therapist as much as I enjoy doing that interview with her. Isn't she amazing? And you see, it's the simple things, the little things we do on our daily living with our little gifts, what make the difference. So from now on until the next video is your time to be blessed and be a blessing. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. It's heating up. Give me some of your comments. Tell me what you think about this therapy, this dog therapy. Tell me what you think about pythons and animals, whatever you like to comment down there. And don't forget que Dios te ama, siempre lo ha hecho y siempre lo hará. See you next time.